So there's a lot of new Line 6 products out, and I'm going to kind of be going through some of them for you. Line 6 has been around for a little while now, and a lot of people are going, oh yeah, you're the modeling company. That's right, we do a lot of amp modeling. We do modeling for microphones now. So you can have a great new microphone called the XDV70 or XDV30. XDV70 microphone is now one of the best wireless microphones out of the market. It's all digital, so there's no chance of interference at all anywhere in the world. 12 channels all the time. There's actually the receiver. We're going through a Line 6 lavalier mic right now. And the receiver down there, 12 channels. It has actually a very cool thing, it has a built-in antenna distribution system, so you can put up to 6 of them, even though you can do 12 channels. You can do 6 of them off of one pair of antennas. So you just take and relay the BNC cables into each other, and just have one pair of antennas sticking up, and that's all you need. The microphone itself is extremely cool. It's very efficient. It can sound like all kinds of different microphones because it has modeling in the microphone. It can sound like a Shure 58, a Beta 58, Sennheiser 847, Audio-Technica 4100, an Audix OM5, and Electro Voice ND767. So you have all those choices. Unlike all the other analog wireless microphones out there, there's no companding in ours. There's no gating at the other end, or there's no expansion on the other end. Whenever you're using an analog wireless microphone, you're actually taking that frequency and shoving it down that radio frequency, whether it's 700 megahertz, whatever it happens to be at. And so they have to compand that signal to go down that line, and then they have to expand at the other end. So you're always hearing this kind of whooshing kind of sound. You turn it down low and you hear like noises coming out. You turn that microphone, that wireless microphone or guitar system from an analog system, you turn it off and there's a big pop because you're stopping the actual analog audio signal. With ours, you can turn it off and it just stops the digital flow. So there's no chance of it popping. There's absolutely no chance of interference anywhere in the world. It's impossible to get interference on any of our wireless systems. So you can't get any frequencies coming in from any other place. And a lot of those frequencies that analog microphones and wireless guitar systems are using now are in those frequencies that are being gobbled up by cell phones, gobbled up by digital TVs. And now we have the only real solution out there for wireless microphones that you can't get interference on. We've since become, we just came out with the wireless microphones about 6 months ago. We've been doing the guitar systems for about a year now, and we're the #1 wireless guitar systems out there in the world right now. They have every major tour out there that I can think of right now. If they're using wireless guitar systems, it's usually a Line 6 now. There's no chance of interference. So that's something that's new with Line 6. And a couple other things that we have that's new is, any of you familiar with our M9 and M13 products? Not familiar with it? You're familiar with it? Well, really incredible effects processing. And we have a new one. Probably anybody familiar with the DL4? It's probably the most popular digital delay on any tour. We have that in here. We have our digital distortion in here. We've got modulation effects in here, filter effects, and reverb all in one pedal. Our M9 can do 4 different ones at the same time, or 4 the same at the same time. So you can have 4 different types of digital delays going on simultaneously with built-in loopers. This one is the brand new one. It just has one effect at one time, but it has all those effects in here. So if you want great distortion, if you want, like a tube screamer, you want like an old fuzz tone, any kind of distortion that you could possibly think of, any kind of digital delay, all the delays are modeled of every delay unit that has ever been built. It has great filters on it, so you can use it as put an expansion pedal or a controller pedal, expression pedal, put it in here. There's a slot for it, and then you can make it do wah stuff. You can make it control pitch, so you can do like dive bombs on it, or you can set it to pitch, automatic pitch, so it can follow any kind of key that you want and do whatever harmonies that you want. So smart harmony is on this. All of our stuff has built-in tuners in it, so you just hit the tuner button and it's ready to go. So this is a brand new product. This will be out next month. So brand new from line 6. Relay G50. This is one of our digital our digital guitar wireless systems. This does up to 12 channels. No interference possible anywhere in the world. We have Relay G30s that does 6 channels. And then we have Relay G90, which is the rack unit. So those are all available, and they carry all of those here almost all the time. So really good wireless systems. Something new that Line 6 has gotten into. A lot of people may know Line 6 from our pods. They know Line 6 from our Spider amplifiers. So right now we make the #1 selling amplifier in the world, the Spider 4s. We sell more guitar amplifiers than any other company out there, which is kind of surprising because there's a lot of amp companies out there. And the #1 selling pedal in the whole world right now happens to be our most expensive pedal, which is called the Pod HD 500. I'll be going through that a little bit today also. One of the other things that's brand new, we have a brand new amplifier. I don't know if you know, we have a relationship with Reinhold Wagner, who makes incredibly great tube amplifiers. He's been working with us for the last 3.5, 4 years. You've heard of Spider valve amplifiers. Those are Wagner designs, so they're all tube amplifiers with modeling on the front end. It's going through the tube 12AX7s and then the EL34s on those. So that's something we've been doing for a while. We partner with Wagner, and we have a brand new Line 6 amplifier that Reinhold Wagner designed the whole tube power amp section. And it's called the DT50. Now the DT50 amplifier is kind of unique. All tube, 12AX7s, EL34s, and it also has rectifier tubes in it too. We can sound like, is the mic okay? We can sound like any kind of amplifier, a Fender Twin, Marshall JTM45, a Vox AC30, or we can sound like a dual rectifier. And people go, well, does it have modeling in it? It has modeling in it, but it does, modeling does something kind of different in this amplifier than other amplifiers. It kind of directs the circuitry of the amplifier. It tells it the direction how it's going to go, if it's going to be using a negative feedback loop or not using a negative feedback loop, in the case of a Fender Twin. JTM45 is a Class AB amplifier, triode mode, and it has a negative feedback loop in it. Vox AC30 is a Class A amplifier, and it goes also through a rectifier tube. And then the dual rectifier, which has 2 rectifier tubes in it, a lot of negative feedback loop, and it can sound like any 4 of these amplifiers. We can have one of the 4 on one channel and one on the other channel. So let's play a little bit of the amplifier, kind of show you what it sounds like. So this is the Fender Twin setting. So it sounds, you know, a lot like a Twin. Very Fender Twin is shouting. Is that too loud? Oh, sorry. Okay. Turn it down just a little bit. Better. Fender Twin sound. And then next, I just come over here and say, let's make it sound like a JTM45. Marshall sound. And if I want to get a little bit more gain on that without getting too loud, I can just put the master at half volume. So, more JTM45 driven. Very Marshall-y sounding, isn't it? Then the next one is a Vox AC30, which is in Class A, so I just pop it down here to Class A mode, and then turn the volume down a little bit. That really chimey Vox sound. I can clean it up a little bit. Nice Vox AC30 sound. The next setting I'm going to go to, this is going to be a dual rectifier sound on this. So we'll pull it out here and get that really heavy. So you get that really great dual rectifier sound at extremely low volumes. Now I can crank this really loud; it'll just blow your ears off if that was too loud for you before. To get the the live dual rectifier loud sound, so I can get all those sounds in one amplifier. All you need is any kind of foot switch, and it'll switch between the 2 of them. Both channels have reverb on it, so you can set your reverb differently for each channel. Now the other cool thing with this amplifier, let's go back up to channel A. We'll put it in the Fender Twin setting, full power mode. There we go. It also makes for a really good jazz guitar sound. So we'll do this. I'm actually going to use the Variax for a jazz tone here, and I'll explain this in a little bit. So let's put a jazz box on here. Here we go. So it gets... So for jazz, it's a great amplifier. It gets a really, really good tone out of it. Most versatile amp out there. And if that's not enough for you in the amplifier, looks very boutique, because it is kind of a boutique amp, because it's quite unique. It also can be controlled by the Pod HD 500 or 400 or 300. So what's that? It's called Line 6 Link, and all you need is an XLR microphone cable, and it plugs in from the Pod HD 300, 400, 500 into the back of the Line 6 amplifier. And I'll kind of show you how that works now. So we'll take this, put it in standby mode. We'll unplug this, and we're going to plug the Pod HD into it. So I plug into the back, and now the Pod HD will control the DT50 amplifier, and it will also control the Variax guitar, which I'll show you in a little bit. So I'll plug this back in. So now anytime I step on this, it actually changes the positioning, the type of amplifier that it's using. And to show you how that works, I'm going to bring out the Pod HD 500 editor librarian. And you can see that popping up now on the screen. Here we go. It's going to suck all the sounds out of there and put them up there on the screen for you. May take just a couple of seconds. And you can design any kind of amplifier, any kind of effects on here, and it will go in here and also go through that amplifier and change the topography of the amplifier. So if you want a diesel amplifier, you want an Ingle, you want like a divided by 13 amp, any of the new classic amps that are out there, it can sound like it. You want a Dr. Z amplifier, it can do that and make it sound like a Dr. Z amplifier. And it has a really great GUI, so you can go into this and just pull up the amplifier you want, the effects that you want on it, how are you going to control the effects or the volume on this, anything that you want. So let's take a look at some of the set lists that we have up here. So you can set all these up to be controlled just by pressing the buttons here. So you see how many set lists we have of sounds. Let's take a acoustic guitar type sound. So we just went to that. We can look at the effects that are in here. So it's just using a little bit of reverb. And let's see what it's using for an amp. It's using a, so we'll take it off of Variax mode here. It's using a high watt amplifier. And I can change the drive on this, so less drive or more volume, and it changes it in real time. If I want to change and put a different effect on here, I can say, oh, let's go in and put maybe a digital delay on here. So I just pop on digital delay. So now we have... Instantly, it's in the pedal, it's going over to the amplifier. The amp, if I want to change the amplifier, I can come over here and let's see what it sounds like with an old Gibson amplifier. It didn't change. Why didn't it change here? Let's see. There we go. And we'll take the delay off. Old Gibson amplifier. I can change it to, let's put it to a new divided by 13 amplifier. Maybe give it a little bit more drive. Change the cut, maybe a little bit more presence on it. Nice boutique amplifier in the pedal. And you don't need it to run through the amplifier. You can run this directly into the PA system and it sounds just as good. The amplifiers are done in high definition modeling, which is a brand new technology that we came out with these pedals. So you can control everything. You can obviously control the variaxes. So let's go to the set list here. And I wanted to change my variax, so I can start off with a like a dobro sound, and just play that. So a dobro sound, I can make it sound like a banjo. And let's see, here we go. So that's controlling the variaxis, controlling the DT50 all at the same time, which is kind of unique. So let's go back and just play some guitar, some of the variax. We'll put this back into the other mode again. I'm just going to run straight into this to show you don't need a Pod HD 500 or any of that to control everything. So let's pop it out here.